Welcome to the Inside Silverstone podcast, a business-focused podcast covering all things tech, engineering and innovation. Hosted by me, Chris Broome, a huge tech, motorsport and gaming fan, and also the owner of Longhurst, a firm of lifestyle financial planners and independent financial advisors located in Silverstone, Northamptonshire. This is a series of unscripted and unpolished conversations with leading business owners, thought leaders and high-tech talent where we discuss their experiences within the Silverstone business and motorsport region. We will also be asking them to share their knowledge, insight and their thoughts on the future just for you. If you're looking to learn more about the Silverstone high growth region and commercially connect with like-minded peers, you've definitely come to the right place. Welcome to Inside Silverstone.
Welcome to the next edition of Inside Silverstone. My name is Chris Broome and I am your host. Today I am delighted to welcome back to the show my good friend Pim van Baarsen, who is CEO of the Silverstone Technology Cluster. Pim, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back, Chris. Pleasure.
Dude, we're doing a COVID catch-up series. So you are episode 3 in that. You have followed Simon Dowson, who is now #1 download. He's taken your mantle from you, Pim. How do you feel about that? First question.
I'm delighted for Simon.
Okay, fine. Yeah, Simon said he was embarrassed that he was #1. And I said, well, you shouldn't be embarrassed.
I think he's very deserving and he's a great guy. So all power to him. That's him.
That's very, very gracious. That's very, very gracious of him. So, right, so COVID catch-up. So the purpose of COVID catch-up is exactly that. It's just a good gas bag with old guests, friends that have been on the show before, plus new people, new friends, new regional contacts. And so purpose of today for us is just to talk about the Silverstone Technology Cluster and what's been going on. So sort of first question, obvious one is, since COVID, sort of what's been happening within the cluster? What have you been up to?
Okay, well, from a cluster organization point of view, obviously, we normally organize an awful lot of events. With the pandemic, we had to shift that. So we've introduced a series of webinars, which have proved really popular, and that's really, really good. We've also brought along like a members forum online where people can interact and post information. It's a really good information sharing platform. We've also been in touch with a lot of the members and trying to help them where we can and all that sort of stuff, which has been really great. You may have also noticed that we put out a call to get people to help produce PPE for the NHS Northamptonshire Trust. So that was a good and very intense project, but we managed to keep that going, and we did things like, smooth out bottlenecks in the supply chain and things like that, and obviously, put NHS Northamptonshire in touch with suppliers for PPE directly, which has been really great. And we got a lot of support from the membership from that, which was really fantastic. And I'm also aware that a lot of our members, being the agile, innovative companies that they are, have like really switched their production around. So we've had a number that, produced parts for Ventilator UK, that challenge. We've had a number that switched to PPE production and things like that. So overall, obviously it's been a really, I don't want to use horrific, but it's been a really bad situation. But I think a lot of good came out of it, and I think a lot of positive sort of silver lining type stuff did come out in what we've seen in how the community came together and how people were willing to help each other and other people. So that's been really great, actually. And
so with the PPE projects, so which member firms have been part of that? Let's do some name dropping. So who's sort of done what? Can you remember?
Yeah, well, there's been several. Obviously, KWSV, Kieran's outfit, have done a great job. But people like Charpak have been doing lots of stuff. There's probably a couple of ones that I'm not really allowed to talk about, actually.
Okay.
But I know that Performance Projects, for instance, have done really good stuff as well. I know Macart Engineering have done some really good stuff. There's been this press release with Good Fabs supplying parts for ventilators as well and things. So there's quite a lot of companies that sort of have really stepped up and done lots of good stuff.
Good. Okay. And then you also mentioned webinars. So these are webinars where presumably member firms or otherwise are coming on and talking about something that's relevant to what's going on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we started off with a lot of informative webinars about things like the furloughing scheme or the seatbelt scheme and things like that. And also, things like how, due to the pandemic, some of the legal issues that arise around that and how to navigate your way through. So there's been a lot of helpful stuff with that, and we've received an awful lot of really positive feedback on that. So that's been really great. But we're now also kind of moving on to more, obviously there's business focus one as well in terms of, okay, so we're restarting again, how do you grow, or how do you, contingency plan and all that sort of stuff. But we're also now throwing in technical ones where it's more about, looking at specific technology areas and automation and Industry 4.0 and things like that. So, given the fact that it's proven really popular and that it's a very accessible format, I'm quite keen to keep them going and, not just have them as, sort of COVID pandemic, sort of support sessions, but also just as informative webinars where people can go and learn something for an hour, participate in the debate, increase their knowledge and do all of that.
So if people have missed these, where can they re-watch them?
We put them all on our on the STC YouTube channel. So I'm sure that if you go into YouTube, type in Silverstone Technology Cluster, you'll find our channel, and they're all listed there.
Excellent.
And they can also catch up on some of your podcasts over there, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right.
And for those member firms who are listening to this who haven't been or haven't presented on a webinar, presumably if they've got a relevant topic that could be of benefit and support the fellow members that isn't a blatant sales pitch, they can get in contact with you to organise that.
Yeah, please do. You're absolutely right. There shouldn't be sales pitches, and instead there should be informative or like a learning experience, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very keen to hear from our members, and if anybody wants to get in touch or has a good idea for a seminar, get in touch with me and let's discuss.
Okay, cool. You mentioned before we started recording something about a survey that you organised. So what's the story there? Yeah.
So while the whole pandemic was raging, we like many other people did a survey on our members just to see what the impact was, and it was quite interesting to see. Certainly from my point of view, I was kind of pleasantly surprised with the results, in that, it's because we're an affiliate partner with Make UK as well, so I get a lot of their results and things, and quite a lot of stuff is like really doom and gloom. But actually, a lot that we've seen with our guys is that the impact is far less than it has been in other things. And one of the really sort of surprising stats I felt was the sort of the staffing situation, because we've obviously we've heard about furloughing and redundancy and all that sort of stuff, but very, very few people responded that they made redundancies, and actually the number of people that have furloughed staff is not as high as in other industries. So I think it's a real testament to the resilience and the agility of the STC membership and how quickly they are to turn things around and meet challenges head on. And yeah, so it's quite nice to go to like a webinar, because Make UK organize something and they got me to speak on behalf of our sector, and then you hear like the aerospace stuff and it's super depressing, and we hear some of the real stuff and that's not exactly good news, and then we kind of go like, well, we're actually doing all right, which is quite nice. It's quite nice to be the optimistic, positive voice in the room for once, Chris, as I'm sure you will appreciate. So yeah, no, I think it's a real testament for it's the competitive, innovative, agile mindset of our membership, and I think that's really shown through. So yeah, really, really pleasantly surprised with that.
Good. And I saw a recent webinar with Digital Northampton. So talk to us about that relationship, because I had those guys on the podcast. I've done a series of podcasts with them, and we're going to do more. Why is it important for us to be, as a community, connecting with other technology communities? It's a pretty obvious answer, but I'm going to ask the question.
Right. Well, collaboration and expanding your horizons is always a good thing, right? And to have somebody like Digital Northampton on our doorstep, They're enthusiastic guys. They want to do a good job. They want to, integrate digital technologies in the workplace, which is a trend, and it's happening more and more. So it's not something that you can deny. So why wouldn't we team up with them and integrate the two communities and let them collaborate and learn of each other and encourage them?
Yeah, agreed. And there's a little robot there just over my shoulder. Where is he? There he is, little robot that they sent me as a thank you for supporting them with the podcast. So for other STC members, support Digital Northampton, and you too could get a toy robot sent to the post. Anyway, what else? What else has been going on? So, STC, any other stories we can share before we close off the pod?
I think I've probably said as much as I can. I know that some of our members have done some cool stuff that I'm not allowed to talk about. I would say, though, actually, another thing that's really good was Cristiano Pace, one of our STC ambassadors, actually led a project which is called the Oxford Box, which is actually an intubement device to help doctors like fit ventilators and stuff with reduced risk and things. And she's actually collaborated with a number of STC members for that. And that's been a really, really good project, especially because she worked together as well with Oxford University Hospital as well as Renault F1. So a real good project to show the power of collaboration, but also the agility and swiftness of people to respond to it.
Cool. And all of these stories, good news stories, are on the Silverstone Technology Cluster website, right? So this is on the news section. So people listening to this want to read up on any of these and see what the members are up to, they can do that.
Absolutely, yeah, they're all on there. So if you want a boost in positivity or just find out some interesting stuff, go there.
Okay, and also information on membership and contact details. So if people want to potentially join our community, they can do that.
For sure, yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Pim, 2 final questions, both personal. So we've talked about the STC. We're going to talk about you quickly, Pim. So post-COVID, let's pretend 2021.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a number of holidays next year, I must say that. But it's 2021. What's the one thing you're most looking forward to doing post-COVID?
Wow, so that's actually a toss-up between 3 things, because I haven't seen my family in Holland for ages now, so I'd quite like to see them. I love films, so I'm quite keen to go back to the cinema, and I love eating out, so I'd like to go for a posh meal as well.
Well, you can do the posh meal now.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I've been told it's a bit odd, but I am planning to go sometime soon.
You can take me for a posh meal, Pim. I don't mind being taken out for dinner.
Well, that's a date then, Chris. We'll do that.
Very last question. This is a really random one, but a fun one. Are you ready?
Sure, hit me.
What is the king of crisps?
Okay, so the really annoying answer I'm gonna give is that there's a particular brand of crisp in Holland that do a particular flavor, which is bolognese, which is the king of crisps because it's amazing. In England, I tend to actually go for just plain salted, but I'm also very partial to the wasabi variety.
Nice. Well, you're having some wasabi peanuts on the weekend with us. For
indeed.
Friend stag do. Socially distant stag do, I must say. So what are the brand of crisps in Holland that you like? So what bolognese flavour?
Right, so the brand is Croaky, and the flavour is bolognese. Comes in a green bag. I miss them dearly. Whenever I go back to Holland, I pick up a bag, as I do licorice, obviously. But yeah, they're and every single time I have one, it's like, God, why don't we have these in England? Because in Holland we don't have that many flavors as you do in England, and I'm kind of like amazed that flavor hasn't made it through. So there we are.
Well, there's a niche there. There's an opening.
Yeah, maybe set up an import business.
Third or fourth calling for you, Pim.
Yeah, maybe set up an import business. Get some stroopwafels and licorice going as well, right?
Okay. Pim van Baarsen from the Silverstone Technology Cluster, thank you so much for coming on the show. Speak to you and see you again very, very soon, sir.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Chris.
Cheers, mate.
The Inside Silverstone podcast is produced by the team at Longhurst for the benefit of those with a passion for all things tech, engineering and innovation. For more information, please visit longhurst.co.uk/Inside Silverstone, whilst also remembering to give us a 5 out of 5 star rating on iTunes. Please note that neither Chris Broome or Longhurst work for Silverstone Park, Silverstone Circuit or Silverstone Technology Cluster.